Many of you know that my family lost its patriarch in 2020 with the death of my stepdad, Jeff Black. I could still remember the first time we met. I was 8, he was 25, and that began what would become a 35-year run of filling my life with memories and deep friendship that remains to this day. In the words of a poet, he gave me a lifetime of mental pictures that have a redemption all their own. And thankfully, my family can tell story after story after story of his presence and participation in our lives, his deep love for us, and of course, all that laughter. I start that way because I know many of you lost this past year as well. Some family members and loved ones through physical death. Others, loss of a job and the financial security that brings, or even the esteem that the dignity of employment can bring into our lives. Some have lost social community, and you're feeling the effects on your emotional and mental health. And yet others, you went through the death of a dream, the loss of what could have been, but because of the events of the past 12 months, it's not happening. I want you to know that I see you, that I hear you, and that I care. I really do. And what's even better, so does Jesus Christ. The prophet Isaiah describes Jesus as a man of sorrows, deeply acquainted with grief. That's a message that Christ enters our suffering. He identifies with sinners. That's why He came, to live the perfect life for us, to die on the cross in our place, to be raised from the dead, giving us the promise of both eternal and abundant life. So we don't have to look back in defeat. We don't have to look around in self-pity. We can look forward in hope, knowing that joy comes in Christ alone and that God keeps His promises. That's the message of Redemption Church that we want to tell our city and our world. I have to say, I'm as committed to bringing joy to the joyless and hope to the hopeless and comfort to those who are hurting than as much as I've ever been. And I want us to do that together. And that begins with your participation, your presence and involvement. It's one thing you could say about Jeff Black is he was never content to lay back, sit on the sidelines, and just watch. He wanted in the game, giving, serving. With all that it brought, the ups, the downs, the wins, the losses, the success, the failures. He was in. He was present. He was going to get involved. He did it on Sunday mornings with his connection team. He would greet folks with a cup of coffee and an even warmer smile, saying, "I'm glad you're here." He opened up his home as a host to his gospel community as the Bible was opened and prayers were prayed and needs were met and life on life happened. And I admit I miss looking out into the congregation as I teach the Bible and seeing his encouraging face. Now it's your turn. Your participation and your presence is vital to not only the life of our community, but the mission of our church. Some of you are going to get involved for the first time. You've been coming to our gatherings and participating in our gospel communities, and now's the time to commit to the family. That's why we're having a membership class called the Gospel Class at 9 a.m. on Sunday mornings starting January 31st, and we'll go for 6 consecutive weeks. We'll tell you who we are and what we believe from the Bible and how that connects to our mission and our community and the way that we're structured, and lets us hear your story and talk about ways in which we can serve you best and you can serve us in our city and our community. You can sign up in the link below and get you all the details. Others of you are with us, but for one reason or another, all appropriate, I'm sure, haven't been able to participate with us in a while. Boy, we miss you too. Could the turning of a new year be the time in which you participate in the community that you need so much and who needs you so badly? I'll trust you and God's leading to figure out how that looks and the timing and the risk and all of that. But I will challenge you to at least evaluate and see if this season is the time in which you re-enter. Love to hear from you. It's a good time to do it. We're back in the book of Job this week. This Sunday, we'll be picking it up in chapter 20 and 21 in that verse-by-verse study through that book of the Bible. Love to hear your voice singing, see your face as we connect, and see that Bible open in your lap as God speaks to you. And together, we'll go into our city and into our world saying, you're not alone. God sees, God hears, and God really cares.